This is about becoming a learning organization, an organization that works coherently. I think before you have good transparency and openness in a firm, you're kind of operating as individuals, kind of moving in the same direction, but not really working together. As soon as you start opening up and kind of tearing down the silos, to put a very overused word on it, you start to operate as one entity and one kind of organism. So that's kind of where we're moving towards. As with Grant, we're not totally there. We started with our documents. When I started, we had everything on a kind of shared drive. Nobody really used that, so everyone was storing stuff locally, which is really bad. So moving documents into the cloud was an important move, because then you can see what people are working on and you can kind of start collaborating, not showing only finished work to each other. So that was a big one. And then DealCloud was a second piece where you start to get into more structured information and you can start to kind of measure things against each other. So we're getting there. We're not 100% there yet. And I think there's two axes in which we kind of look at challenges. So one is the technical piece, where you need to trust the data that's in there. You need pipelines to feed data so it's kind of current and makes sense in what you're looking at. And you need systems that kind of answer the questions that you're looking for. So that's the kind of the system part. The other piece to this is more cultural. It's about trust. It's about, okay, I'm letting a person in to see my draft, even though it's not finished and polished and looks good. Well, that's fine. Like we all have, drafts, and there's nothing wrong with, letting people into that. So that challenge, I find the technical piece is sort of solvable. I know how to get there. The culture piece is tougher. It's softer. It's harder to kind of attack. So I'm kind of going through the same thing myself in a way, because the openness we're trying to push here is kind of in some sense even higher than we used to have in Google, where I was one out of 100,000 employees. Here I'm one out of 30. So your visibility in some sense is higher. But I think by the end of this year, if everything goes to plan, I think we'll have total transparency in terms of all our documents in SharePoint, plus everything in DealCloud will be open. And that goes also for history all the way back to the beginning of time. So we're getting there.